My name is Jared. I joined the United States Navy back in 2007. I joined just to kind of get away and see the world and do something fun. I was an engineman on the USS Harry S. Truman. I worked in hydraulic systems with a lot of oils. I also worked on the small boats as a rescue engineer and as well on the flight decks on some of our aircraft elevators. While on the aircraft elevator systems, we used to wear craniums with goggles, and that's where I wore my Wally X goggles so that things flying, they're called fog, things flying around the flight deck doesn't impact your eyes and damage them. Up on the flight deck, it can get pretty dangerous. You kind of got to keep your head on a swivel, if that makes sense. Things such as loose nuts and bolts, pocket debris can fall out, and when those jets are taking off, those pieces of debris can shoot out and impact your eyes and cause quite a bit of damage. So the standard issue that we received on our craniums, they left a lot to lack. The seals would always fill on those. They'd get real foggy, and so some of us would go to the supply guys and buy some goggles on the side, which we bought a set of Wally X back then, and they would actually seal off and you wouldn't get foggy eyes, which is kind of important if you're supposed to kind of keep your eyes on all objects on the aircraft carrier, which is kind of important. So yeah, definitely quality comes into play here. Quite often you'll find with inferior products, if something hits your eye, such as a needle gun, the piece of the metal that comes off the needle gun itself, it's a long piece of metal, it's going to shatter that glass, that plastic, and it's going to obviously hit you in the eye. Quality products is where you want to be at to prevent that, and you can go through quite a bit of eyewear, eye protection, if you don't have a quality pair of eyes. We had to go on the flight. I didn't work on the flight decks as the engineman side of things, but our equipment was up there all the time, so if it broke, we're up there. I mean, it does happen quite a bit. You have to wear those. The goggles are actually one of the most important things that we wore, because a lot of them, they had this, I don't know, yours is obviously different here, but they had this foam material that after a few wears, that foam material would separate and you would get really foggy lenses. But those were like the Navy. Ours actually weren't, or the Wally X weren't actually like legit ones. We'd have to order them on the side and wear them. They weren't issued ones. So they weren't issued back then on the Truman anyway. Whatever the factory ones were shit.